things are in America today for the African American man. Colin Kaepernick, he looks like he's not going to be on. He's been blackballed out the NFL. Oh no, he's not. He's an inability. He's not good. Or they got worse. Hey, Jay Cutler got a starting quarterback position. Okay, and Jay Cutler is horrible. But Kaepernick, a former Super Bowl contender quarterback, doesn't get a job. And they say that it's not racism. That's always the bullshit. That's the bullshit line. I was just looking at a clip on here of Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, a.k.a. Chris Jackson. And to people who don't know who Chris Jackson or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was, is he was AI before there was AI. I really believe AI got his moves from Chris Jackson. Okay, back in the day, But when Chris Jackson decided to stand as a man against his, for his religious beliefs or what have you, Colin Kaepernick stands for the law beliefs that are happening to black men and black people in general in America, where the police is having free reign to murder and beating black people anytime they want, especially now with the racist devil president that we had just recently last week just told cops go full blunge, and now he's leading us into a nuclear war. Okay, and with all these things going on, and black men are being blackballed and kicked out of leagues, or if you say anything, if you're black and you say anything the white man don't like, you're gone just like that. With all this stuff going on, last week I was called a coward. On Warren's show, by an AAW. Okay, now this is typical. This is very typical. It ain't the first time I've heard this. Okay, but it's always when they call me a coward because I don't want to no longer deal with the American society and also deal with what American society has done to the African American woman, and I just want to move on to something better. Do me better. I'm a coward. I don't stand and build and develop my communities. I run off. Okay? Well, and I responded to that by saying that the black man's community is anywhere he lays his hat. Okay? Anywhere a black man decides to start taking home or taking refuge is his community. Whether it's in Brazil, whether it's in Thailand, whether it's in Colombia, okay, or even whether it's in the U.S. Okay. Now, because like I said, the black man, he's the true ruler of the world. The white man took that title, steals that title away from him. Okay. So everywhere we go, we are kings. We are leaders. Okay? I remember right after 9/11, right? And I was flying on a plane. And I was probably I was a pretty big guy, probably most ominous, guy on the plane. Okay. And all the white folks, a couple of Arabs got on the plane too. All the white folks kind of like looked at me and they said, "You got our back, right?" Because that gave me that look. If these guys start some shit, you got our back. Notice white folks always run behind the black man when they need protection. It's always been that way. Okay? When it comes down to, destroying the black man, it becomes the white man's scapegoat all the time. The reason why I bring this up tonight is because throughout that show last week I was on, African American women are coming at a black man like me because I decided that I want to go and I want to date I'm still dating inside my race. I kept trying to make that clear. I'm still dating inside my race. I just don't date inside my nationality. That's the difference. They kept saying that. One thing I noticed throughout the conversation is they kept saying that, well, if you decide to date Brazilian women, wait, stop right there. Why don't you say if I decide to date Afro-Brazilian women? Because Brazil is not a race. Brazil is a nationality. If I'm Brazilian, America, they're Brazilian, I'm American. I'm Afro-American, they're Afro-Brazilian. Okay? That puts the title of where my color stands at. African, black. They're black too. They're African Brazilians. Like I said, the education comes in effect when you keep trying to tell the people who come at me when I say these things, learn your history. Learn the history of the transatlantic slave trade. Start off with that. Find out that Brazil is the blackest country in the Americas, not the U.S. That's a misconception. Okay? And then we go on. Just recently, it's the show called The Bachelorette. What do? They get a black girl on the show this time. And what did she do? Go get herself a white boy. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there was not hardly no brothers that she could pick from. I think maybe one. Was there any brothers? I'm not sure. I don't watch the show, but anybody can correct me tonight. Was there any brothers? I think I seen one. For the brief time I did look at it. Okay? I seen one, but nothing but white boys. So we start off with the house slavery machine called TV and media. And all they show is that a black woman's salvation has to be a white man. Now keep in mind, this white man, history, is raping the black woman. But now, only love that she thinks that she can get in the world is from a white man. And if a black man just turns around and say, fuck it, all right, I'm out. All of a sudden, he's a coward. He's a deserter. What about black women in America? What about your Serena Williams? What about the Bachelorette? Why could she pick a brother? No, she had to pick herself a white boy because that's what sells on TV. And that's what brainwashes the black woman. I remember years back, I tried to date this Liberian girl, all right? Keeping it black now, all right? But she got to America too soon, okay? And, as I'm checking here, our notes here, hold on one second. 1 minute there. I'll pull up our notes. Give it up. Okay. It's just like they are quick to badge us, but it's okay. It's cool. It's cool. Now this is not an American thing. This is a worldwide thing too as well. Like I said, I was dating this Liberian girl. Tried to date her at least. And she told me that she was forewarned when she first came to the United States to stay away from black men. Stay away from black men. They're going to get you pregnant. They're going to get you this. They're going to get you that. You wind up on welfare. You wind up in the system. And she didn't want to take a chance on me. She sure as hell took a chance with that white boy. So when black men go and they travel abroad and they deal with all types of women, not just black, but all types of women, we're badgered, we're attacked, we're called sellouts, we're called cowards. That's the new, we're called cowards. Okay? And it amazes me. Now, tonight I would like to get your opinion on tonight's topic, as I go on in here. V, how's our lines looking?
Excuse me, full as usual. Let me chime in on this because I heard most of that podcast last week.
Yeah.
we have to keep this in mind. Now, I don't know the background of the women that were on that program last week, but people like yourself, myself, people that have gone beyond the Bahamas, and I don't call it going on a carnival trip to the Bahamas, jet setting, but a lot of times we get called names, and people try to attempt to shame us. But let's look at the bigger picture. We really don't have any business talking to people that haven't even left the country.
Exactly. The people who say, this is something I say here. I'm going to cut you off, but whenever someone starts off a sentence with, I heard, the conversation's over. I don't want to hear I heard. I want to hear I know. I want to hear I experienced. Because I heard is bullshit. I experienced means that you put the money in, you went through all the legal processing, the documents to get your passport, to get your visa, whatever you had to do to make that happen. That costs money, that costs us time, and everything like that. You know, then you went and you got your airline ticket, and you went down to that country and you found out what's what. But I heard anybody can do that. 5-year-old can say that shit. You know, and that's where I get really annoyed. But go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Charles, I mean, little I know about you. I mean, you married to a Jamaican, probably went to Jamaica. You went to the DR. Brazil so many times I done lost count. So when you got a person with your travel education, okay, versus a person that might not even have a passport, might not have even left the state. I don't know. It depends on who you're talking to. So it's not an evenly yoked conversation. You're not going to – you can talk to your blue in the face. It's just not going to translate.
The thing is, right, is that first, those women, they were pretty educated. They were not brash. They were not ignorant. Okay, but they were just miseducated too, as well. When it comes down to when I tried to come on there and I tried to show them, they went after me, and then they went on and got some simp to come after me too,
So the only way that you can begin to have a conversation with them is like when you did that video on the beach in Brazil. Then you can begin to talk to people. But if they haven't, if they haven't even got a passport, then basically you're wasting their time and your time too.
Well, the sad part is, right, you're being called, they make us all into something that we're not.
Right.
Like, we go from, okay, you're a coward. Okay, now this thing, I got this YouTube troll keeps stealing my stuff. All right, and his thing is, whenever black men just travel, they're sex packs. Either sex packs or on sex tourism. Okay.
All that's coming from the peanut gallery, ignorant people. But Charles, we got a bunch of callers here and people with their hands up already. So let me put out the number. 773-897-6277 is the live stream numbers. We go on until 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm in the Central Time Zone tonight. And let's go down to area code 954. Your mic is open.
Hey, how you doing, Brother Charles?
Hey, co-host. How you feeling?
I'm good. Co-host also, greetings to you, brother. Charles, I did get a chance to listen to that. It's supposed to be a discussion, but it always turns into debate, dealing with the situation that you cover. It's not supposed to be a debate, but it turns into the debate. When the sister came on there toward the end of the show, I noticed how they changed the narrative. There's a sister that came on and said that if she was a brother, she said if she was a brother, if she was a man, she would run down to Brazil as fast as she could. dealing with the situation here in the U.S. That's what she said. So what happened was at the end of the show, when the other guest, the so-called doctor came on, she didn't have no which way to turn, so she changed the narrative. All of a sudden, she started talking about domestic abuse and stuff. She changed, not to put it down, I'm saying that she changed the whole narrative of the show. The reason why you have the black man's option. She tried to put this, because she had no way to go. After the sister went on there and put the narrative on her and showed her what she didn't like seeing out there in the States, the behavior of some of these sisters, not all of them, but some of these sisters, too many, she said she would leave and go and seek elsewhere. And that's when the doctor came back and changed the narrative and ran out the back door.
Well, like I said, when you shoot, like I said, I loved it. They were coming at me, and I was just like, left, right, coming right back at them. And the thing about it is when I took away their offense, now they had to throw, domestic violence. What? I'm like,
that's because they wanted to control the whole narrative of the show. They didn't want to talk about what you stand for, Brother Charles. She wanted to change the whole narrative because they don't want to talk about these issues and about the problems. At first they said it was about listening and talking, but that's not what it's about, because as soon as you came on with your ideology, you get into they want to take it to a debate. It's not a debate. It's how you experience your life. We all walk through this life. And there's so many people that you deal with who walk through what they're experiencing here in the United States that they don't want to talk about that. They want to start pointing fingers and stuff. You just have the black man's option. That's all you're saying. Just like every other man that walks this earth, the only person that has to make excuses and tiptoe to this world is the so-called black man. Nobody else have to have. They think you have to have permission to go through this experience called life.
It's a sad situation that that the black woman and the black man can't sit down and solve these problems. One thing I will say about them girls who came on the beach back in 2015, they came down. They came down. They didn't assume. They looked around, and they realized, we got a problem. We got a problem. All these eligible black men are down here. Okay? And when they look at me and find out if they look at them ever and found out they're Americans, they ran for the hills. That's a problem.
Well, they brought up the book that the brother wrote over there in UK, but those books have been written way before. Shehzad Ali was talking about this situation back in the 1990s, and the sisters were spitting on and frowning at her. And she kept telling them what was going to happen. She was calling it way before it got worse. And what happens is they don't want to deal with your narrative, the narrative that you brought up. They don't want to deal with that. We know there's all types of type of problems, but I'm saying that if you choose to go anywhere in this world, it doesn't matter what you do, Charles. If you go down to another, when I grew up, if you went to another city and dated a sister, the sister would have a problem with it. Oh, you got to go over to so-and-so. See, it's always something. You're never going to satisfy these human beings, brother. They're never going to be satisfied. If you go to another state, it doesn't matter where you go, somebody's going to put a roadblock in front of you. It doesn't matter. They're always, that's why they had to change your narrative, because what you're talking about is a big issue. It just didn't happen overnight. This stuff has been, I grew up, the so-called white man has always had access to the so-called black woman, always. Since if you're going to deal with the slavery, or if you're with anything coming towards these Americas, he's always had them, one way or the other, whether it was rape, whether it was domestic, one of the sister wanted to be domesticated in their form or whatever, because, they're going to be taken care of better or whatever. It's not new. When I grew up in the 50s and 60s, all the sisters I saw on TV, they all had white men. All of them, even in music. It wasn't just Diana Ross, it was a whole slew of them. And every time a sister, I'm not saying tit for tat, I'm not saying, they're doing it, but I'm saying, look, when they complain about these things, it's always to keep an eye in America. It's the eyes are always on this so-called black male. Everything that we do, everything, brother, whether it's sports, it doesn't matter. They'll take you down. Generally, they take you down with sex. All of our great people have been taken down with some type of issue dealing with sex. With sex or money is always those two adjectives. But the thing is, you're never going to be able to satisfy other people, whether it's traveling. When I travel to the motherland, people always got something to say. They're going to put you down. They're always going to say that. But the white man with the white man with the black woman, I don't care if, like I say, all those children that I'm not putting it down. I have no problem with people like Tina Turner and all of them. You go through Eve, there's tons of them. But what happens is when they get together with the so-called white man, in the media, nobody says anything.
Yeah, the media. That's my thing. In the media, when a white man's with a black woman, oh, they look like a cute couple. Oh, this, oh, that, right?
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. I need me a good white man. I hear it all the time. Yeah. I hear it all the time. And I see it all the time, even in the workplace. When I do the contract work, man, I see, I tell you what, I've seen this coming a long time ago. It's just like it's part of this whole control thing, whether it's the black woman or the white male. They both work hand in hand. I'm not talking about all of them. I'm not having, I'm saying that when you I deal with a lot of sisters that aren't like this. But the sickness that's out there, the whole fabric of the so-called community that doesn't exist, the so-called black community they keep talking about, it doesn't exist, but they keep calling it a black community. What they've done is they followed one fad after the next. They came out in the 80s and 1990s, got to have a roughneck, got all the music. Got to have a roughneck. All the sisters went out got a roughneck. And all the roughneck going to do is beat you down. They need a soldier. To be honest, I need a soldier. And they was having all the videos. Because what happened is when you see them sisters over there in the UK, and they brought them up just a couple of weeks ago, they brought some sisters up head-to-head with some brothers, and the sisters told them they didn't want nothing to do with them because they were nerds. They were all just respectable men. They wanted the hood rat. They wanted the tough guy. Yeah. And I've seen that growing up. I've seen it growing up here in the States.
I see it grow. Look, I see the disasters always happening. I just step back and I watch the car wreck. Because it always happened. It is never missed. I've never seen a hood rat do anything right except wind up going to jail. I tell them, and you know what? It's the movies. It's the movies, the rap culture, and everything. All right? You just said it. Back in the day, MC Light, give me a roughneck. Bad boy. I think I need a bad boy. Destiny's Child.
There's a whole bunch of them now.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them.
But if you there
was even an R&B one that came out last year. In fact, I even played it on my show last year.
It's accepted in the society. It's accepted. But there's another brother, Charles, that was on the talk. There was another brother that came in. And he talked about someone that he had knew, and she had hooked up and had a baby with one of these guys that live on the street, one of these young brothers that live on the street. If you look at, I went back and checked some films on Atlanta Housewives, and what he was talking about, he's talking about these sisters are married down to these guys on the street, but won't give you a chance. They'll go for the guy that's criminal, got the criminal record like what you're talking about. So if you look at that Phaedra Parks that was on Atlanta Housewives, she's an attorney, right? I went and checked the film on her. She's an attorney. Who did she marry? She married an ex-convict. And then the guy goes around, he's in federal prison now. That's an example of what the brother was talking about. They call this so-called educated woman that's an attorney, and that's got all these different licenses, and she goes out and gets the bad boy. And I've seen that my whole life. All the way through high school, I've seen it.
Let me tell you something. Being in the telecommunications business for the 22 years, I've been in a lot of people's houses. Okay? And like I said, I thought you said this before, whether in a video or in a show, but I was in one apartment, very upscale condo apartment over here in Germantown, which is sort of more or less the upper middle class section of the city of Philadelphia. And I got called over there to rebuild the network, internet shut down, whatever. Anyway, brother answers the door. Okay, I'm coming in there, my man's sitting there with socks off, shoes off, and, laid off across the couch, want to play some video games. And you're like, yo, man, I need this internet back on so I can get online so I can finish my Madden 2006 online, no problem, brother. Boom, boom, bang, I got the internet on, but we talking. And he's like, his girl comes in, right? She looks like, businesswoman, lawyer type, like, kind of, and, paralegal or something like that line. And she's just coming and she got all the packages. He wouldn't even help her with the packages. I actually helped her with the packages. Because I seen the girl struggling. And I had to go out to the terminal, which is outside in the hallway. And my man said, because we were busted up, so he followed me out there. And he said, yo, man, dang, my man John, man. I got my wife over here in North Philadelphia, man. She just joined. I'm chilling with her, man, because I just got out last week. And, I'm just kicking it with her and all this other stuff. I'm going back to my wife tomorrow. Go back in there. She massages his feet. This girl, I can tell, been on her feet all day, making it all the way home, carrying all them packages by herself. She massages his feet. You know why? Because the thing about it is that bad boy stupid shit is a combination of bad fathering, having no father in the household, too, that a lot of these black women had gone through. And I'm not just going to say a lot. There's some that also had fathers that just couldn't be controlled because of the way society has set it up to be. All right? Now, when we go and we decide, fuck this, I'm getting my passport, I'm out. Oh, we're cowards. We're simps. We're this, we're that. Why? Because we want something better? Because we can see that this is a situation that is getting worse and worse by the year. We're going from years into decades now with the same problem progressing and getting to a situation where now it's impossible to control.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit here and have a heart attack, over trying to get these women in America the world white? Get it correct?
Well, it definitely won't get changed overnight. It's going to be some generations if it ever turns back around.
This is a situation. It's going down. It's not coming back up.
Oh no, it'll be a long time to come back if it comes back. During my life,
there has to be some type of drastic change just for us to turn. See, for one, black women. You got to remember when I went on the show, what's the number one thing that these black women didn't realize? I didn't admit, at least. How about that? Didn't admit. They didn't admit that we have a problem. The problem is black men this, black men that. They do not take responsibility on their part either. There were some black women that came on the show that agreed. Yeah, hell yeah. These black men need to get their passports, get on a boat, get on a plane, and sail away or fly away as fast as they can.
Well, when you live through 20, 30 years of what they had during the rap culture with the videos, people started living in that lifestyle. They really lived that lifestyle. I'm talking about when I'm generalizing, I'm saying they. There's plenty of women I meet out there that are on travel and stuff like that, sisters, and there's nothing wrong with virtually most of the ones that I run into. They're excellent. But even within my family, even when I travel here in the States, I run into, I don't need a man. I've heard that since the 1980s hit. I don't need a man. So I always wondered, even my own family, when they would say that, when the females would say that, and today, they in the 60s and 70s, and they're still, I mean, you can be single if you want, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying they still choose not to have a man. They don't have one. But some of them come up to me now, and they're in their 60s talking about they need a man. But, they've lived their whole life because they've chased this so-called dream, this American dream thing, and they finally just woke up. And the nightmare started now. They've gone from dream to a deep nightmare. And
well, the TV, like I said, it's a lot of attacks the black women don't see that's going on with her. She's being subliminally attacked, and she won't realize it. I mean, come on. You got TV shows and commercials. I remember there was one commercial where they were showing some type of retirement plan or something like that. And they showed a white couple together, an old white couple together, but then they showed just a black woman.
Right.
Audio Army Join the Army shows, where the black boy with a white family, they talk to the mother and the father. They go to the black family, it's just the mother. She's the mother and the father.
Right.
There's no father now. They're eliminating the black man from the picture. Therefore,
right.
subliminally, you're going to hear a black woman say, well, I don't need a man. And ain't
Right.
nothing wrong with a white man. I'm going to go get me a white man. Y'all dudes ain't shit. It's real easy for us to say that. Because
I heard that on television. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do monitor it. I heard that a few years ago on television. I monitored this one show, and they had a sister that said that she needs a good white man on one of these, what they call those L.A. hip-hop shows, whatever. And they put they put it in there, and that's what she said. Like I say, it's part of the program of the Matrix to instill this into the minds of people. I think a lot of it has to do with the program that they got for population control, because the population dealing with the percentage of so-called black folks in the United States, they hasn't grown any, the percentage-wise, and they allowed that Planned Parenthood to come in, and the sisters and them, they jumped on it because they think they can keep up with this white woman, and it just destroyed us. It destroyed us. It destroyed the family. It destroyed the mindset of the sisters. And then what happened is all of a sudden you want to start a family at 40 years old, and they say the clock ticks early. But all these things that have been done throughout the past has got us to where we're at right now, and all of a sudden everybody's running with their head cut off. But I tell you what, brother, you only got this life, this so-called experience right here. I wouldn't pay no attention to a lot of the people out there because the finger pointing and the name calling, that's not going to fix anything. You know? It's the blueprint's been laid down.
It just gets to a point to where people say, y'all brothers, y'all just up and running. No, we just sat here and we tried to tell you why we're leaving. We're not running. We're leaving. It's different. Okay? We're leaving. Because the black man option is here. This movement is growing on its own. It had nothing to do with me. It's growing on its own. Okay?
Well, yeah, I was in Seattle back in the 1980s. In 1983, this Japanese woman that worked where I work at, and she was from Japan, and she said she couldn't believe the society here and the lack of culture, how the women treat the men. And she's talking about all women. She said she just can't believe how they disrespect in this society, that they don't do that in their cultures. And this is back in the 1980s. And I started watching this whole movement, the so-called adjustment, this whole change back during that time. I paid attention to what she had said. And I've seen it change through all this so-called music culture, and through the behaviorism, through after I got an education, I'm an educator. And they used it to see men, all men, not just black men. We've never done that to the female population. We'll marry a female no matter what their status is. No matter what, whether they have a job, don't have a job, no matter what it is. But what happened was prior to the 90s, when the 90s came and 2000 came, they also, I even heard people in my family say, and a brother told me this once about his sisters. He said, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. They put these doggone figurative, this made-up world down. You know what I mean? They made this world up about how much, he got to make at least $70,000 a year. I said, you got to eliminate three-quarters of all the brothers already. But
like I said, but the women will listen to tips like Steve Harvey, who gives black women probably the wrong information. I mean, he came up with probably the most dumbest rule that is guaranteed to keep a black woman single. He calls it the 90-day rule. Yeah, did you hear about it? You know about the 90-day rule?
No, I'm anti Steve Harvey.
All right. Well, here's what he said. This is going to make you even more anti. He says that a black woman should not give a black man sex for 90 days to prove that he really wants to be with her. You realize by you putting that into a woman's stupid head, right? Because he's Steve Harvey, they're gonna go by it. Just like a Donald Trump, supporter. Okay, he puts it out there, they'll go believe it. All right, and that will. I know dudes that won't go 90 seconds without sex. Okay. The bottom line is this: how much does a woman come to the table with? okay, she may have a little career and all that stuff, but guess what? First, the man ain't in love with your career. The man ain't crazy about your career. He's crazy about, man, his attractiveness. We're men. We got dicks between our legs, and they get hard because we like women. Okay? And yes, we got to have sex. That's a must. Doesn't make you thirsty. I understand if you're just thirsty and out of control, don't have to control yourself sexually. But in a relationship, sex is definitely a serious thing. And 90 days ain't going to do it. 90 days guaranteed. You know what's going to happen? If the brother does want to stick with you, best believe he's fucking somebody else.
Well,
okay. Well, and if he doesn't, you know what? He's going to go to that somebody else. And you'll be left single again, listening to Steve Harvey. Okay.
Well, the little bit of culture that so-called black people were able to gain in the last couple hundred years has been wiped out pretty much. There's some subcultures out there, but pretty much of it, most of it is gone. Most of it, everything is controlled by the Matrix, and the Matrix got a lot of power. And it took me years to get away from it. Yeah. So I'm going to get off the phone, let somebody else on, brother. Don't trip out on them. They're going to set their minds the way they want anyway, so they're controlled by the Matrix.
As always, brother, that's all we can do is try to make it through, man. But in the meanwhile, we utilize our passports, man, and find ourselves a new life elsewhere. Really appreciate your call, man. Really appreciate your call. All right.
All right, thank you.
Anytime, brother, anytime.
All right, thank you for your time.
Anytime. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Always interesting conversation, okay? You know, about what's going on here. And like I said, the sisters, I would like to get more sisters on the show. I would like to get more of them on the show. I try to reach out to a lot of social media connections on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll put the link in the handle up there, and you know, but the brothers, they do come, but the sisters also listen. They don't come on the show, but they do listen. I do know that for sure. And to the sisters out here, I would like y'all to come on and give us the 2 cents, okay? Try to prove a brother like me wrong, at least. I would love to be proved wrong, but and here in the Matrix, I'm always proven right, sadly to say. So I'd like to go on to our next caller, V.
Yeah, we're going to Australia.
Oh, got my co-host coming all the way from Australia, my brother from down under, Teddy Doyle. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Charles, man? How you doing, man?
Hanging in there, man. Another week,
yeah,
man.
That's good. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're laying low in the States, man. You know.
Oh, well, it's right now, like I said, it's just a case of me just handling my business, keeping my head down, and then getting right back and get out the States in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months to a couple of weeks. You know, just
okay.
Man, it's all that matters. You know, because I'm trying to set it up for where I want it to come back for a nice long while, and I don't want to, have to make sure that.
Yeah. I think you got that under control. So I'm not worried about you. So you know how to handle your business. You know.
Of course. Yeah, of course, man. But like I said, last week, like I said, it goes back to what I said. They never call a white man a coward. White man dates outside his race is never a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. When a black man goes and don't even date outside his race, dates outside his country, he's a coward. He's a coward. I even
go
ahead.
Charles, look, we're just going in circles with this topic. How many years? I mean, we've been warning our sisters for years. Hey, I think you need to change how you approach, black men in a social sense. Like change some of them habits. Like it's not really healthy in a relationship. Oh no. They don't want to listen. And I date. Well, okay. Let me put it in. Okay, I'm not gonna. The black women, all women in the Matrix, all women. I don't care from Canada, UK, Australia, all these Commonwealth countries, including America. all these countries with these economy programs, we're going to put them all on the same bus.
Mm-hmm.
A man is going to get tired of the system beating against us. The women want to be the sole breadwinners of the other thing. They want to be the mother and the man in the household, and belittling us out in public, belittling us in front of our family. It's getting to the point now. It's already too late now. Bro, what's wrong with a man having the option? You know what? Things ain't working out for me. After all these years, I tried everything to do what's right. Try to please this woman. Try to make her happy. And it's not working.
Yeah.
Why not change something? Why do something? Just do something different.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this passport. I got access to 160 countries from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just go to the country and check things out and see how try to be socialized with other different women and other different cultures and backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? I call that self-education right there. You won't get that in the classroom.
But like I said, when a black man does things too, which is basically positive, all right? We got, of course, black women who are controlled by who basically are controlled by the white devil. We're over there, the Asian AAWs out here in the Matrix. We also got the trolls, Agent trolls. Like I said, I got this one fool on YouTube who just continuously calls black men automatically skip over, even though in most of my videos, all my videos, you only see culturalistic things. You see me traveling from one end to the other in some of the cities and also in some of the areas, in the favelas, whether it's the favelas or whether it's the nice areas and all that stuff down in Brazil, okay? You don't see my camera up a woman's ass all the time, okay?
That's not what it's all about. No, that's not what it's all about. It's all about traveling. It's all about experiencing new. Yeah,
we're sex travelers. We're what they call sex tourism, sex travelers. Come on, for real?
Really?
Is that the best you can do? That's the best you can call us? And it's all based on assumption because the white man does it, the black man automatically does it. But guess what? The white man won't get ridiculed like the black man does. Okay.
Actually, the white man does. The white man, he's far more worse as being a traveler. He got a bad. Charles. They don't put that in the meat. They got a bad reputation going in these other countries. Bad reputation.
You don't hear that when. Okay, wait a minute. The white man is doing shit. Whoa. That girl was 32 years old. That was in my arms. Okay.
Oh yeah, she was a little fox man. She's dynamite, little dynamite.
Yeah. But like I said, to make it look criminal, they have to say that we're here to have sex with just the sex. We not living there, not going there. Even if the troll that he was saying is some Mexican kid who hasn't been to Brazil, all right, and he somehow.
I get that all the time, Charles. I get that all the time when I travel. What are you doing over there? I said I'm just like any normal person. I do work. I do have a job. I do have a family. I do have responsibilities. I'm no different from anybody else. People travel all the time, and these are the people I've talked to that never traveled before. Don't even have a passport. The people that got passports that travel, they don't question. They know the deal. Yeah. They know the game.
It's a sad situation, that, do we have to face ridicule for doing something that we just want to do like anybody else? We're free to travel the world, okay? But yet, we still have to deal with the ridicule. We still have to deal with the bullshit, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're a coward because you're traveling. You're leaving your...
I'm a coward if I'm traveling. How am I'm a coward? I'm not running away from a fight. I'm trying to catch a flight.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do stupid shit, you know.
Like I said, when the chick called me a coward, I'm like, for real? I'm a coward? Because you don't want to help your black community. My black community is anywhere a black man is where I'm at. Okay? You know, anywhere I lay my hat, I'm helping the black community.
Well, actually, every time we touch down in a different country, they actually appreciate us, you know. They want to, other coaches want to pick our brain and say, hey, you know, what's it like, you know, living in America, you know. And so we got this system, and, you know, no, I don't do it this way. This is how I make my money. You be see the glow on their faces like, oh, my God, you know, you should come here like, you know, you should have been born in our country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I get those responses all the time.
And, you know, when you travel, you find yourself being appreciated. I don't have the cops running up on me, putting guns in my face every time in these foreign countries.
Oh, speaking of, hey, Charles, I hate look, 17 years living in Australia. I'm gonna let this out for the whole world to listen. Living in the country of Australia, I had not had one single cop pull a gun on me. Not even once. They'll tell me to move along or tell me to shut up or something like that, but never in my life, I walk down the street, I fear for my life when I see a cop. Dang. Now, as a black man living out in the United States, I'm telling you, almost living in the country in 20 years, I never fear for my life when the police are present. And that's the honest truth. Now, you know, and now I am very grateful I live in the country like that. They got the police in check.
Oh, hold on 1 second there, Teddy. I'm gonna bring Al Greeze in here. I'm gonna open up his mic right here. We got the
Al Greeze,
the producer and writer of Frustrated 1, 2, and soon to be 3. Al Greeze, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, big brother Charles? What's going on, Teddy? My brother from down under.
What's going on now? Greeze.
What's going on there?
My brother, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for asking, Teddy. How's everything down under?
Oh, everything's going peachy and creamy down here, man. I'm just staying in my own lane, man, brother. I'm just trying to make it, man. Just trying to make it.
Listen, I got to get out there, man, and check down under out, man. So.
It's a nice country, man. Nice country to visit, man. Nice country to visit.
Yeah. I got to come out there and check you out, man. Show me the ropes, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. I can show you the ropes. Yeah, I can take some time off to show you around. Shoot.
Yeah, I got to do that. What's going on, Charles?
Yeah, man. Another day, another dollar, man. We all controversial right here on the Charles Tyler Show, Al. You know how it is,
that's
man.
50 cents, man. Don't forget taxes, man. They're gonna take half in taxes, dog. So another day, another 50 cents.
That's 25 cents. Yeah. What we'll do with 25 cents?
What you gonna do is get you a cup of coffee, go lay down, get the strength to get up and do it again tomorrow. That's why they do it like that. That's
right. You know, we got to keep maintaining and everything like that. And, you know, like I said, we're talking about, as usual, current events, you know, and I really much saw the Cole trailer post for Frustrated 3 that you just came out with. You had Johnny Johnson on there too as well.
Oh, that's my PSA announcement.
Yes.
You know, I do the public service day too, man.
That promo was very powerful. That just hit. That was like a jab. I'm like, oh, right, I'm ready getting KO'd already. I'm like, oh, this is only a promo.
Yeah,
I can't
that's the pre-fight. Frustrated 3 is the fight. So I just gave you the pre-fight. What's about to come up from the rear? What they do on HBO, that 24/7? They do that 24/7 to show you what's going on before the fight come on. That's what that is. I got another one coming out too, man. So I'm doing some PSA announcements, informing brothers what's going on with Frustrated 3, and you know what's going on in current events as well. You know, with the new White House. situation, how they cutting back on them social programs. So, you know, I'm trying to educate brothers, man. Beware, man. Beware. Be careful when you're out there because they coming for you.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We got a couple of callers on the line here. We got to get through here real quick. We're going to explain all that as we go on with the show here. I'm going to pull in our next caller here from 832. 832, don't let your mic open.
What's going on, Brother Charles?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing much, man. I've been listening to you on this topic for a couple of weeks now. And me personally, man, I was with my lady for 15 years. You know, when I met her, she had a 1-month-old child. We hung out for a year, decided to move together. And basically, I thought we was growing together, okay? Time passes. Eventually, I moved to Texas, started making a 6-figure income. Everything I ever promised a woman, got her. Even came to Texas and had $17,000, bought her a car to make sure that her and my kids could get around safely. Well, I didn't have anything. But I came to Texas anyway and prospered. Bought us a house, built it from the ground up 2 years ago, okay? I work in the oil field, so I'm gone a lot. Okay, well.
Yeah, I understand.
My reward for the hard work and putting the rings on her finger, making sure she had a nice life. You know, my kids are learning computer code, and we stay in a great neighborhood. And, you know, they ain't ducking the gunshots in South Central L.A. like I had to. You know what I'm saying? What I get for that, I get a bitch who come home one day and say, I'm moving out. You know what I'm saying? And up and take my kids somewhere. I don't know nothing. I don't hear nothing. So 2 weeks later, I eventually track her down because I got to find my kids. And she's living with whoever she's been running around with for like probably the last year or so. Now, she done moved into a $1,400 a month rental and was complaining because her part of the bills were to pay the revolving, you know, the lights, electricity, and to put food in the house. I take care of everything else, the car notes, house note, all that stuff. You know, I'm handling like $4,000 worth of bills on my own, and maybe she's shelling out maybe $800 out of her $2,500 a month. Okay, so I just started to notice certain things about her, and when you're with a woman for a while, you can tell that things are different. I started to feel like at one point in time that this woman might have been feeling like she was cheating on her new boyfriend with me. You know, I started to get that feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute, you my woman, you and but it felt like awkward every time I'm around you, like you want to be or you want to be doing something else. Long story short, she puts on a whole act and on the phone, oh yeah, I'm coming to work today. I know it's my off day, and she's trying to sell it. My lady didn't even talk this loud, and she wasn't even that type of person to try to have a loud conversation. I said, nah, that's a fake-ass conversation. So I let her go to work, show up at her job 2 hours later. She ain't there. You know what I'm saying? These are the kind of things that started to reveal themselves. And 3 weeks later, she moved out. That's when she come home and moved out. But I'm just saying to you, for my hard work and effort, you know what I'm saying? That's what I got. Now, this is a black woman. And mind you, what kind of dude, hold on real quick, what kind of dude do you think she got that was willing to move into a house with her and 3 young boys? She probably got a nigga that ain't got no money coming in, more than likely. Because if he had some money coming in, certainly he wouldn't have chose up with a broad who already got 3 mouths to feed. And I'm talking about 16, 14, and 11-year-olds. That's competition right there at the dinner table. What man wants to put up with that? You know what I'm saying? That's not a man. That's a sucker. And when I seen him, you talking about a thin dude with a beer belly. And I'm like, this what you wanted? You know, there's beer cans everywhere. And see, that's my thing, Charles, is I didn't put time and energy into sitting in the garage playing dominoes like a porch monkey or drinking beer in the driveway and, You know what I'm saying? Slapping bones. And I was always grinding for mine, going to get my money. I'm a money dude. I don't sit around with a bunch of niggas talking about what I'm going to do and what I'm about. I go get it. And that's what she didn't like about me, is I just wasn't one of them average-ass niggas. And it played out over time.
She told you, that's why.
Nah. And she knew I wasn't going to babysit her motherfucking ass either. I was not going to forego $1 to lay up and chase behind some bra like I've seen other guys do. I've seen other guys quit their jobs out here to follow behind women, and it don't work out anyway. So what I decided to do was what I want to do. I've been wanting to do anyway, because I wasn't happy in a relationship, and I said, well, I'm just going to stick it out for my kids. But she beat me to the punch and got on. So I said, well, fuck it. I always wanted to go to Brazil. I always wanted to go to Thailand. So that's what my plans are, starting next year. And that's why I joined your group and everything. That's what I'm going to be doing. I got to sell a house. You know what I'm saying? 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. This house is a monster. All of this for my kids. You know what I'm saying? And my supposed lady.
That's a damn shame.
So I got to sell that house now.
But it's a damn shame, but it's typical. It's typical.
Yeah. But the thing is, I got a child support hearing coming up on Monday. So I got some things I got to get out. That's the only reason I wouldn't go with y'all this year. But once I get all of this stuff free and clear, then I'm going to go live my life for me. And I'm gonna deal with black women, because I don't want no fucking white women. I done dealt with white women. They don't have what it takes for me, personally. You know what I'm saying? And I love black women, and I've noticed that I generally do like black women from other countries more than women from here. You know, these women are very petty, ignorant, and they got all of this shit on the list that they want. And the minute you accomplish that shit, it ain't good enough for them. So I said, fuck it. I'm not going to spend my life playing that game. I'm 43 years old, coming up 44. Man, I'm going to go get some of the best planet Earth and marry one of them women after I figure out which one I want and move on with my life.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, man, that's what you got to do, because you well deserved. See, the thing about it is that you got to remember, every woman that we deal with, and especially here in America, is a chance investment. All right?
Yep.
Investment could work out in some cases. It work out well for God knows how long, but then that investment can blow up in your face like this chick just did to you.
Yeah. I invested more in her than she ever invested in herself. I couldn't even get her to fund her 401k at her job.
And now the system's involved. And when you got the system involved, it affects you overall for God knows how many years.
I ain't worried about that system. That's why I'm cutting all of this debt. Because no matter what they ask me for, I'm gonna be able to meet that obligation. Because I'm bringing home $7,000-8,000 a month. So whatever they ask me for, they'll get it. Because I won't have nothing but a car note once it's all over and said with. Because I live where I work. I ain't tripping off of that shit, man.
Oh, well, like
I'm gonna be lean and mean.
It's right. Get yourself together. I hope. Like I said, I hope things definitely work out to where, you'll be back with us next year.
Oh yeah. I'm hanging in there, man. And my own mother has told me. She said, "Look, I have never had a man do as much as what you did for this woman." She said she don't get it, and she got a car note right now, Charles. That's in my name, and 3 months in a row she's paid this car note late. Okay, she fucked me on some taxes and went and did some taxes and claimed the kids and go help buy this nigga a truck she was with or whatever. And now she can't pay her car note. So I know the money getting tight over there. So that shit is going to fall apart on its own. You see what I'm saying? Because she wasn't shit with money when she was with me. So he ain't shit with money because he don't got none, and she ain't shit with money when she got some. So it's a disaster made in hell, but they love that. They love to talk about who in and out of jail and who's doing this and who's doing that, whose car is this. Man, I never gave a fuck about none of that, man. And like I say, I'm from the land of lowriders and gang banging and all that, man. And I done the gang banging at an early enough age. I was in the streets, but I pulled myself out by age 21 and decided what I really wanted was a family and a life. You know what I'm saying? But she always wanted that same thing that she always was attracted to, I guess, was that mentality. And, being a female, 36 years old, coming up 37 next year.
But when you're dealing with American women, you're taking a chance. Because you're also dealing with American society. And American society can turn her against you in a heartbeat. But
the thing is, Charles,
with that hood criminal dude.
Oh yeah.
And think that's the best woman dude that she can control.
This woman is going to be 37 years old next year, and she's going to find herself just being somebody that people just want to fuck and move on or use, and she's going to look at herself in the mirror, and she's going to have a deep talk with her. Because the one thing I don't do, I don't talk to the bitch about none of it. I let her dwell in that shit that she created. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be a day and time when she want to talk about it to somebody, but it ain't going to be me. I ain't going to never give her the satisfaction of that conversation. You know what I'm saying? She can get on as far as I'm concerned. You could you might as well
it sounds like you're ready to make the move. I wouldn't even, like I said, man, I wouldn't even sweat her right now. You handle your business, get yourself together, financially and physically, okay? And see what the world got to see how far that passport can get you.
Oh yeah, well that's what it's about, man. It's about giving ourselves options we never gave ourselves before, man. Yeah. And that's what I'm about, man. Because I know, man, I used to have a blast when I go up to Canada, man. And shit, it's been changed so much up there from what I'm hearing now. They act like they do here, so I know I don't want to go back there no more.
I always tell people, you got to get away from the United States. Going to Canada, going to Mexico, that's not really getting away. Going to the islands, that's not getting away because you're still within range of the United States.
Well, the thing about it is this social media has evolved a lot of women directly around this country. And I even see, unfortunately, I've seen some Thai women on there just twerking and doing different things. And,
you're not going to totally escape the matrix all over. Women twerking and all that stuff, you're going to get that. Every woman ain't going to be like that. And every woman, get away. Don't let little stuff like, I've seen a girl twerking over from Thailand.
I'm definitely going. Ain't nothing going to stop me. Because, I done cut everything off here just cold turkey. I said to myself, Charles, I'm just going to work out, and get my money right, man, and that's it. I don't even deal with, and I was hanging out with different chicks and having fun and doing this and that, and it always come down to something just different about it. I'm just like, you know what? This the same shit I already had before. I'm not getting back involved with no shit like that, man. So, I just decided to go cold turkey till I take my first trips outside the country for real. I don't want to be bothered with nothing till then.
Well, I think that would be probably the best move for you in the meanwhile. And like I said before, work on you, and get yourself together, like I said, physically, mentally, financially, prepared for your trip. And but bro,
right.
we gotta move on to our next call.
Okay.
Man, I really appreciate your call, my man.
All right, thanks a lot, my man.
Anytime, man, anytime. And like I said, like what my man just went right through. Like I said, when you're dealing with American women, like I said, you're taking a chance on an investment. Investment can work or it can blow up in your face. And these days, there's a whole lot being blown up in a lot of brothers' face. I'm going to move on to our next caller here.
954, your mic is open.
954?
Charles, I talked already. Maybe you...
Can we pull it back up again? Hold on.
Okay, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. 414, your mic is open.
414, there you go.
Hey, what's up, Charles? It's Lewis, man. What's good?
What's going on, Lewis?
Hey, man, you're a hard man to reach. What's good, Al?
Hey.
Is Al Greeze with you?
Oh, I'm here, brother. What's going on, man?
Hey, not too much, man. I've been quietly following your progress on Frustrated 3. I'm looking forward to seeing that project come to fruition, sir.
Oh, thank you, brother. Listen, man, we're gonna start that in November, man. So we're gonna shut it down. We're still taking donations, but after November, I'm not gonna take any more donations, man. We're gonna take what we got, man, and make it happen from there. So Frustrated 3, we're going to start pre-production in November. And also, me and Charles, I'm doing on your show, Charles, we're going to announce the winner of the free ticket going in from the raffle. Yeah, we're going to do the raffle there in November, so whoever wins, if they want to use that ticket to go to the beach party, you can do that as well.
Gotcha. Hey, speaking of Frustrated, I've watched both of your projects. Frustrated 2 hits close to home, not just for brothers, but for white dudes, any dude that's married and has had kids and he's dealing with the unjust child support system. What I'm surprised at, though, is that you guys haven't taken a lot of flack for that for tackling that area. Why is that? Because believe me, I've had argument after argument with ladies on Facebook saying that the way things are set up for women in child support, it's just. You know, what I don't hear is these ladies these women admitting that there are women out here abusing the system, using it to where they use child support to get their hair done, get their nails done, pay for their car payments, pay for some other nigga living up in their house, and so on. All right, can you expound on that a little bit?
Well, after I made Frustrated 2, we hit the road with it. So I did viewings in certain cities. Now I was out in D.C., man, and that shit went crazy because we do a Q&A afterwards. So I mean, for me, D.C. was by far the craziest. When I did a couple of shows here in New York, from New York, I did a couple of shows in New York. The people were more surprised and more informed. They were like, damn, I didn't know the system was like that. Some of them were sharing their stories of the shit they were going through with the system. And a lot of the women who didn't know the system was that corrupt or had brothers that's going through that shit or had dads taken away from them that was going through that. So they were more sympathetic to the project. D.C., I mean, that shit went crazy. I could use the money how I want to use it. He know he ain't shit, this and that. I mean, we had to shut it down, and people had to come in from the theater. It was like, yo, it's getting too crazy in here, man. What the hell's going on? So D.C. was crazy. Atlanta wasn't too bad. Maryland, we did stop at Maryland, wasn't too bad. But D.C. was crazy because it was predominantly a black crowd.
Right.
Most of the other shows I did were mixed crowds. And, you know, it was more of a Q&A going on, and a lot of people was feeling bad for loved ones that had brothers and had dads that they hadn't seen that was going through that shit, and really had feelings towards the mom because they know the moms put the dad to that and kind of separated dad from him. So a lot of them were, you know, was more receptive to the project. But DC, predominantly black crowd, it was wild.
Nice. With regards to the black women that saw this, how did they react? And I would like to zero in on the sisters here in the United States that saw that film. How did they react?
Well, it's social media. I mean, a lot of them haven't contacted me on social media and leaving negative remarks. Like I said, most of the negative remarks I got when I was out there. You know, I mean, one of the craziest response I got, man, this chick stood up and was like, you know, 3 of her baby daddies ain't shit. She had 4 baby daddies she's got 4 kids from 4 different men. So I just asked why. I just asked a simple question: why would you do that to yourself? Why would you have 4 different babies who ain't daddies from, you know, 4 different men who ain't shit? Why would you do that? And she just went ballistic and shit. She was like, well, fuck you. You know how it is. I don't know how it is. I don't have babies all over the goddamn place. I wouldn't do that to myself. I love myself, so I don't know what you're talking about.
When you tell an African American woman what she's done wrong, oh no, what the fuck? What do you mean? Fuck you then. She goes off. She starts tripping on you because come on, you had 4 kids from 4 different baby daddies. That should tell there's something wrong with you.
I'd say so. That's the elephant in the room, and that's the smoking gun right there, usually.
Yeah, but I asked her, you know, why would you do that to yourself? Well, I've been saying, why would you do that to yourself?
Women don't want to take responsibility for their actions.
Well,
that's
because
the problem right there.
At one point they had the system to lean on. So they had the system to lean on. It has, like I said, you know, I don't know if you've seen the current PSA announcement that got out. It's a pen post on the group page. But now that Trump is in the White House, he's cutting those social programs.
I know. I've been tracking that, and it's got them shaking in their shoes. He has cut public assistance, i.e., he's cut the welfare system. He's cut it to the bone.
He cut all that shit down. So now,
back to the rich.
Yeah, now they're coming back. Now they're coming out looking for guys like us. Now they're coming out looking for guys like us.
Yeah,
they need somebody to help finance that shit.
I mean, for instance, me here in Minneapolis, you know, I am a father of one daughter, and believe it or not, I've seen frustrated too, and you know, my ex-wife is acting a fool. She has relocated with my daughter from Wisconsin, where the divorce was filed, to 2 different states. She's currently in Nebraska. And so, you know, that right there, man, I mean, I ain't even gonna go into it. I'm staying focused here. This film, Frustrated 2, it hits home. It touches a lot of sore nerves. As did Charles, that last show you did. Whoever show that you've gone on Blog Talk Radio, and those 2 women, it seemed like everyone on that show except for the host. The host, I don't know which side he was on. The host was, one minute he was on your side, the next minute he's simping.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. I knew that I was going to go on there, and it's going to be basically 1-on-4 type of thing, you know, and I was ready, you know.
Well, why subject yourself to that, Charles? That's willfully putting your head in the lion's mouth.
When people ask me why do I go and start getting to these battles and everything like that, it's because I'm trying to show dudes. All right, I'm trying to show dudes, just like Al. He showed us with Frustrated 1 and 2. All right, I go on there and I do my part. I try to show dudes that look, see. You know, even 1-on-1, even with women who are not ratchet, okay, women who you feel have common sense and degrees, they still don't get it.
Okay. How do you mean that they don't get it? Meaning they're not willing to admit that, and this is a phrase I'll come up with, the actions of a few affect many. The actions of many affect a few. What I mean by that is, okay, I would be painting with a very broad brush if I were to say every African-American woman in the United States is nothing but bad news. Am I right? That would be painting with a very broad brush. But there's enough of them that have been with that ratchet hoe-ass behavior or Beyonce's Miss Independent to affect how brothers view them. It's one of the reasons why brothers started going elf. Am I right, sir? Am I right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right. That's, you know, me. Shit. I was a teenager in the 80s. Yeah, I was a skinny-ass teenager in the 80s, and because I didn't have game and all this other bullshit that women expect you to, that these sisters expect you to have just to say hello to them, you know, I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I started dating outside my ethnicity as a teenager. I had mixed results. But at the same time, that's when my mind was open. It expanded the minute I got to Germany. I mean, the German women love brothers over there. They do. I spent 5 years over there, and this is during my time in the service. And all sisters could do, when they saw me with a German girl, hold their heads down. And I saw a lot of that. A lot of what the brother from the first one was talking about. Over there in Europe, the German women, sisters could not hold a candle to German women. German women had pretty much had a lot of their same features. They're thick, you know, thick in all the right places, receptive, and so on and so forth. And we're seeing that again now. And it's just like you guys are saying, sisters didn't want to take the time to look at themselves and like, man, what am I doing wrong? What have I got? What do I have? What am I doing that she ain't? What am I not doing that she's doing? What am I doing that she's not doing?
They go on and try to point the finger. They say, okay, we coming to Brazil, put cheap pussy and this and that. One, come to Brazil or go on abroad, period. Putting 6,000 miles between you and the Matrix. That's not cheap. It's not cheap. All right? That requires money. That requires a lot of planning and everything like that. All right? You know, but see, they'd rather go and they put it on the smut way. instead of saying, wait a minute, maybe I need to go to Brazil and find out why that men, eligible black men, are packing up and they flying off to Brazil. Let's find out why.
Let's not just stop at Brazil. Let's not stop at Brazil. Any country where there's melanated women.
Yeah, but what they need to, I always ask myself, why don't you go to a country like Brazil and find out why they're getting the blue book? Because the stats are on my side. I even said it during the show on the show Sunday. Stats are on my side. Y'all can come at me all you want. But 71% of African American women will not be getting married. And will remain single. The stats are on my side.
And they don't want to. And they and I've noticed how they sidestepped, deflected, and dodged that question or dodged that statement. They tried to spin it around on everything. I mean, how many times are you going to keep bringing up the Willie Lynch letter?
They went in and brought Dr. Sif after me, and that didn't. When they found out that blew up in their face, then they changed the narrative. Of
course.
And I'm like,
it's called backpedaling. When you're getting your ass whooped in a boxing match, you start backpedaling. Right or wrong. That's what. If I didn't know any better, when I was listening to that whole debate, Charles, that's what I was hearing. They started backpedaling. Every time you cut off an avenue, they jump to something else, and they keep riding this on the coattails of slavery. Well, slavery. Oh, well, let me see. Last time I checked, the family remained intact even during slavery. Mm-hmm. All right, even post-slavery, families remained intact. Families started coming unglued at around the end of the late 60s and the beginning of the early 70s. That's when families started falling apart. All right. By the 80s, the families started being splintered. If it's one thing I know how to do, it's to look at history and study. But again, the common denominator in this whole sad affair has been the sister. I mean, I've said it many times. Black women bought into feminism. They bought into the women's liberation movement, and it fucked them.
You know what is funny? Is black women bought into a hook, line, and sinker.
Mm-hmm. Okay? Of course.
While white women slammed on the brakes and pulled back before they went off the cliff. Black women, they jumped off the cliff proudly. I don't need a man.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, white women and every other woman that besides African American women are having a laugh of the century. They know at some point that the value of men. In fact, I'll take it one step further. You guys are familiar with MGTOW. Carl, in this case, Al, I'd like to direct this question to you. What is your understanding of MGTOW?
Men going their own way?
Yeah.
That group there.
Yes, sir. So my question to you with regards to that is, what is your opinion on it? What is your view on that whole movement? Is it in line with what with what we're trying to do?
Oh, I think it's in tune, step to step. You see a lot of black guys, like you said, with white women going through the same thing. So a lot of them are not, marriage rate is down for white women too, but not as bad as it is for black women. So a lot of them are not getting involved in that. A lot of them are just going overseas, going abroad, going other places, and not dealing with it here in the system. Most of the time, what I find out from when I travel is women there in Brazil and other countries are more caring, more open, and more respectful of men. Here is not, because a lot of women use the system. To help. You don't want to give me money, you don't want to do this, I take you to court. I take you here, and I'm going to get it from you.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
A lot of brothers, a lot of white men are not dealing. Like when I did Frustrated 2, the white guy that was in Frustrated 2 was the fireman. I ran into him in the street, and he came up to me and he said, "Yo, you did that movie Frustrated." I said, "Yeah, man, how you doing?" He said, "Yo, man, I watched that movie." I was shocked because it was a white guy. I was like, "Oh, yeah, you watched?" He said, "Yeah, man, I watched that movie Frustrated, man. Hey, can I take you to lunch?" And I said, "Yeah, man, take me to lunch." And he sat down. He started sharing his story with me about him dealing with the system and the fact that, white boys go through the same shit too. And I was like, wow. So he said, "Yo, man, if you do another one, man, you should do it on the whole system." And I did some research on it, the history, that made me do it. But, yeah, a lot of them going through the same shit we doing, but not on the same scale. A lot of them, especially white women, especially when they start getting in college, start looking for that mate. That's going to take care of them and all this. A lot of black women in college, they look for independence. yeah, I'm gonna get this degree. I don't need a man. I'm gonna make this kind of money, so I don't need a man. White women looking and say, okay, I'm gonna attach on to him. He economics major or he engineering major, and they start scooping him up then. Especially when you see them brothers playing ball, them white girls be on them.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, the white girls be on them. So when they hit the pros, they sit there. They got that white Becky there. Becky saw the potential. Becky saw it. You know.
The thing about it, Becky is not looking at his look. See, you take a guy like Greg Odom, okay? All right, dude look, all right, you know. But Becky ain't looking at Greg Odom. He look like a damn fucking monster. She looking at this 7'3" money maker.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all she sees is money bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Becky thinking from the neck up. Becky thinking.
Same thing with Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, he look like that goes to the thing. He's ugly, big-eared, ugly dude. Okay, college and everything. White girls was chasing him left and right because they seen the money.
And what really gets me is that sisters recognize these dudes afterward. For instance, I'll use R. Kelly. Perfect example. R. Kelly, you know, wasn't nobody checking for this cat. But the minute he got put on, he couldn't get rid of women. Even now, even though they got him marked as a pedophile and all this other shit, he still can't get rid of them. Sheesh, women would give up both arms and legs to be with this cat. Mm-hmm. He said it in his in 12 play. He said it in the skit in 12 play. When he was working for what the hell was that, UPS, driving a delivery truck, nobody knew him. But the minute he got on, everybody knew him. It's just
that's the way society is.
But I think that comes from us not working together. Like you said, family unit is broken. So we don't work together. We don't see the potential in each other. We just wait to see what you have right now. We look for the instant. What do you have now? Oh, you don't have nothing now. Well, I ain't fucking with you.
Instant gratification. They want it now. They're not want it now. Put the work into it.
And I ain't gonna work with you to get it.
I want to be here after you got it.
Yes, so I can spend it. And if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a baby on you, and I go to the court, and they're gonna give it to me. I'm gonna get it.
Something else I want to make you brothers aware of. All right, for those of y'all, if you do slip up and get with a sister and you protect yourself, you dispose of that protection yourself. Why? Because it's been happening. Women are go and fish that condom out the trash and pull your genetic material out, shoot themselves up with it, and get pregnant by you, and next thing you know, you're hooked. That is happening, fellas.
Well, not only that bad, but that equitable estoppel. That's dating women with children. They'll make you pay child support just for dating a woman with children.
Yep, that's correct.
At the same time, just recently, Paul Crawford slammed on the brakes and wised up pretty late in the game as far as I'm concerned. When it came down to that whole...
I'm glad you mentioned that, Charles. I'm glad you mentioned that. Thanks, brother.
Say that again?
Carl Crawford, used to play for the LA Dodgers. Okay,
right.
He recently slammed on the brakes on... that's exactly what she is. Evelyn Rosado, I can say her last name right. The woman done ran through Antoine Walker's money. She done ran through Chad Johnson's money. But she can still run through Crawford's money because Crawford played himself and knocked the whore up. Okay. The whore was not even divorced yet from Chad Johnson. It's just she pops up pregnant. Okay. Ooh. She knows her miles are ran up, so she has to get a money baby. Okay. And I just wish a lot of these athletes would just wake up and realize, Carl Crawford should have seen that one coming. Okay.
Yeah. I would have.
She's still into him for the money. She got him. She still got him. Because that baby's going to be worth $2 million. You know. So she's going to ride that baby probably for probably for the next 18, 17 years, you know.
Of course she is. That's lottery. That's the lotto. 1821. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing, man. There's a book that's out called Men on Strike. All right. I recommend every brother listening to this broadcast get that book and read it. All right. There's a female who wrote the book. There's that big old story. Where'd all the good men gone? She breaks it down as to here's where we've gone and why. She pulls no punches. I forget what the name of this gal is. The other thing is when it comes to dating. You know, for those of y'all that still want to sift around in the matrix and sift through the barrel of bad apples, there's this one cat that's on YouTube. I forget what this guy's name is, but he's against the whole idea of paying. If you do go out with a female, make her ass pay for half of it. You go Dutch. Yeah. If she don't want to do that, bye. Next, go someplace else.
What? There should be. You know what? In this day and age. All right, especially if she really wants to be with you. I don't see any reason on why African-American woman doesn't pay for the date, at least half of it, okay? If she got you going out first date, second date, third date, and you ain't getting no ass yet, and you still paying for this, you know?
No.
Now you're getting played. I always tell brothers, if dating in America is throwing away money.
True. Ask yourself this question, though. All right, what's the difference between going out on a date with a woman and you paying for it and you maybe on the possibility of getting a hug, maybe something else, and you hiring a call girl? What's the difference?
Well, let me just say the difference for me. The difference for me, my time.
Exactly. You're sticking to bullshit.
My time. I don't have time to sit for 3 dinners, sit through 3 meals. I live in New York City, so that racks up. So you talking 150.
Very expensive.
3 meals with. I get a call, girl. That's one night right there. I can get back to work. I ain't got to hear what happened at work. I ain't got to hear your stories. I ain't got to hear shit. Or your girlfriend, nothing. You know why you here. You know why I called you. You know why you here.
Mm-hmm.
And I get back to work. I can get back to work. I can get right back to work when I'm done.
Like I said, one thing that's irreplaceable is time. Okay?
Exactly.
Hey, you know why you're here? Let's get it in.
Yeah. I can make more money. I can't make more time.
I'll break you off, and if you're that much fun, I'll call you back again. Okay?
That's true.
You know?
Very true.
You trade if you trade in the financial markets, time decay. I look at that option as a woman. The more I hold on to that woman, time decay. The value gets lower and lower. Yeah. Either look, either I got to sell, hold on to this option, then this option will expire worthless. I bet if I got to access my option, I want a profit. If I'm not getting a profit, I got to exercise. That's how I operate.
Yeah, I got to trade you in. Give me a new model.
Absolutely. Right. Hold on 1 second, Vinny. I know we started about 5 minutes late tonight. Do we got 5 minutes left in the show?
No, we're out of time.
Okay, we're out of time. I just wanted to, we got to bring this to a conclusion here. I want to squeeze this in. Al, if you can get in any information for Frustrated 3 one more good time, and I'm going to follow up with each party.
Well, I got all the information on Frustrated 3 on greasefilms.com. We got also we got T-shirts out too. I'll post a link up too. I got Frustrated T-shirts out. We're still taking donations up to November, and we're going to announce the winner for the free trip in November as well. I got the PSA announcement, and we're going to be shooting another PSA announcement in about 2 weeks. So look out for that.
All right,
Gotcha.
all right. Okay, now I'm doing a follow-up real quick here. Like I said, we got a dual promotion for Beach Week 2000, South Tyler Beach Week 2017. Like I said, we need no RSVPs. Please contact me. All right, I want to get a follow-up on everybody who's coming down here. We can make sure everybody gets in here, have a great time, you know. And Al, quick question: are you paying us a visit on that week?
Oh yeah, I'm coming down.
There you go.
Great. That's wonderful.
Himself. The man himself. You heard it right there. Al Greeze is going to be paying us a visit for the Beach Party 2017. All the more reason why you want to come down here. This is Charles Tyler. Welcome on the show. I'd like to thank our guest hosts, Al Greeze, my brother from down under, Teddy Doyle. All right.
Hey, what's up happening?
All right. We're going to be back at y'all next Friday. All right. Same time, same place. It's Charles Tyler right here at the Black Man's Option. Peace.